Managing our anger is not really as difficult to get under control as one might think. That is, once we understand what the cause is for us becoming angry in the first place. Before any problem in life will ever be solved, we have to understand exactly where it derives from, and then cure the problem and not the symptoms. To start off with, I will make a simple example of one of the symptoms of anger and then analyze it. I hate it when people make me angry. One day I will do something I regret. By telling a person to stop saying these negative words, we will be addressing the symptoms of anger in this person. If a person never utters these words again, it will not have solved their problem. Let us start over. I hate it when people make me angry. One day I will do something I regret. Have you ever listened to these words and given it some thought? What are we saying when we say these words? We are actually admitting that when something or somebody makes us angry, we lose control over actions and become somebody we cannot control, which is why it is so very important to be in control of one's emotions. After such anger outbursts, one might sit and wonder who that most horrible person was who said and sometimes did such horrible things to others with one's own body. Does that sound familiar? Yes, of course it does. If not by yourself, then somebody close to you or somebody you know. So let's look into this matter in more detail and start our first lesson on how to prevent the angry me from taking control of the body. This is more serious than one might think, as many people who are in prison would most definitely be at home with their families if only they knew the content of what we will learn from in this first step of our course. As I have referred to earlier, one of the main problems with managing anger is that we attend to symptoms and not the cause of the dreaded illness. Medication is merely a part-time cure and will not resolve any problem. Believe me, with a little practice and focusing on the cause, we will take total control and become masters of our own minds. In the first exercise, we will be looking into what the cause is for people reacting in the uncontrolled manner they do when they get angry and how to prevent these outbursts from taking over their entire being. Have you ever asked yourself a question to which you also answered yourself? Example, I will never allow myself to get angry again, or never consume so much alcohol again. And then reprimand yourself by saying something in the lines of, what is wrong with you? You could have injured somebody. This is a good example of our good and evil sides. Our good side is the one reprimanding the evil within us, which in its anger state has broken down more than half the planet. All the different personalities we adapt to with our mood swings are merely different spirits controlling the mind. These spirits have to be under one's control and the unwanted ones conquered. Our reactions and so-called disorders are therefore soulish spirits which we unknowingly allow to control the mind and then the body. We have to be able to control all these spirits, moods, or emotions. For instance, if I see a pretty woman, I can't just walk up to her, kiss her and tell her I love her. We have to control all our emotions. It starts off with a thought, which is then transformed into an action. We therefore have to nip the thought in the bud when it enters into the mind to prevent it from being transformed into an action. Isn't that logic? Be that by physical or verbal response. I have quoted some texts from one of my books, The Bible Secrets Revealed, to explain what the cause of one's anger is and what to look out for to prevent it from reoccurring. The human mind is controlled by spirits from two different sources, one from the darkness and the other the light, also known as good and evil. These spirits of good and evil are present in all of us in the beginning, as we are born into a world where we are programmed by human minds and exposed to all sorts of evil. We are sometimes attracted to the darkness by mere curiosity of an inquisitive mind, or some unforeseen experiences we may encounter in life. Some people are more susceptible to these spirits and are therefore easier to be controlled by evil or anger than others. The fight between good and evil for the control of a vessel is a never-ending struggle. Our struggle as individuals is to conquer the evil within one's own mind, but there will always be people who are controlled by the darkness. The spirit of light will always attempt to guide us away from evil, and the spirit of darkness will always be stabbing back at us to remain in control of the body. This we have to understand very clearly before we will be able to start our quest in conquering our anger and illness. Let me give an example of good or evil spirits controlling the body and how to identify them. One who swears and curses at others is being controlled by an evil spirit, which is merely logic. On the other hand, people who are peaceful, focused, and loving are being controlled by a good spirit at the time. I am saying at the time, because if we have not totally conquered our anger by ridding our minds of the anger spirit, it will come and go without asking permission from anybody, as the body will remain its vessel and home. Let us assume that someone lashes out at you whilst your mind is in a state of peace. Obviously, the person who is troubling you is controlled by an evil spirit at the time. The darkness which is in control of the person's heart will continuously attempt to remove the peace from others' hearts. We therefore have to identify these spirits, control them, and not react by attacking their physical bodies or refer to them as being evil. When a person says something to enrage us, we should keep the door of the mind shut and this way prevent the evil spirit which is in control of that person from entering into our hearts as well. In other words, we have to remain calm and peaceful under all circumstances. This way we will remain in control of our actions. If we get angry and defend ourselves by responding in an unfriendly or similar angry manner, the spirit of darkness will have conquered both of us. In other words, when we get angry at somebody, they are in control of us, as they will be controlling our emotions. The spirit of darkness will never stop having a go at us and will make use of any vessel to get through to us, whether it is our children, parents, pastor, friend, or spouse. The only way we will ever conquer anger is to learn how to identify these evil spirits, conquer, and in this way remain in control of the mind. Therefore, when we say that we hope others would stop making us angry, we will be addressing the symptoms of our anger, as this indicates that we want to control spirits within others who are causing people to become angry, which is impossible to do. We can never control other people's hearts, as they have their own struggle. We can assist them on how to conquer spirits, yes, but we all have to conquer the weaknesses of our own hearts for ourselves. And once we have a clear understanding on these few samples, we will be ready for the next step, to clear the mind and rid it of negative thoughts. God bless you.